Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to release a couple more parts. Nothing particularly significant, but I've got a couple more on the printer that I'm nailing down and will probably release this weekend. So this is going to be a pretty quick video. So today I'm going to release the parts that I'm using for some of the accessory trays. In particular, what you're going to get today is this parts tray. So I use this, I store a little breadboard, some wires, some LEDs, just stuff like that, some, resistors, things like that to play around with. And also I store an extra set of SD cards in here for if I need to reimage my Pis. In front of that, I have a vented faceplate, so you're going to get that today as well. And there's one more part that I'm going to release, and that is this. So I use this as the kind of the power distribution hub inside the rack. So this actually goes behind the screen. And this part is, it's not particularly complex, but it fits the RAV power bricks, and they work pretty well. So, they output as much power as my Pis need without throwing any form of, under voltage alarms or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with those. Anyway, and as you can see, I built in a little bit of cable management here. So I'll throw up some pictures of what these look like here in a few minutes. But anyway, I want to walk you through how this works. So essentially this area here, you'll have a power cable that comes out this way and out the back. So this will actually be almost up against the display in the top section. And then of course you have your power here, right? Now for this, of course, this fits in the bottom, that butts up against the sides and what have you. So let's go over to PrusaSlicer and I'll show you what these look like. All right, so this is the vented faceplate. We'll lay that flat down like that. We'll change this to 5 and 5 and no supports, 15% infill, and of course Prusament's what I'm printing it in. Slice it. Yeah, an hour and 44 minutes. It's not a really complex part and it prints quite well. Yeah, so that's what that one looks like. Let's grab this. All right, so the parts tray is going to take a little bit longer to print. Again, you don't need supports. Let's change it to 5 and 5. Prusament, infill of 15, no supports. Slice. Okay, yeah, 5 hours and 3 minutes. So significantly longer, but that's what that is. Let's go with the last part. And so this one, again, you don't need supports on this. Print settings 5 and 5. Prusament 15, no supports. Slice. All right, 3 hours, 11 minutes. So these are the parts that I'm going to release today, and let's throw up some pictures and we'll talk about what they look like and how they work. All right, so these are the two parts I'm going to release today. So as you can see, they're fully assembled. I actually have a RAV power brick installed on that one, and you can see the power cable running down the back. So what you're looking at there is the back side of that. So the USB ports for all the Pis are going to come up the back and plug into those ports. Then I've got the magnets and everything installed in the faceplate of the parts tray, and that is ready to be assembled as well. Here's a closer look at the parts tray. As you can see, everything just fits together in the front with the faceplate, slides onto the tray. Of course, you can't really see the magnets there, but they are installed and everything fits like it's supposed to. Here's a closer look at the RAV power brick. So as you can see, I've got the cable routed out the side there, and everything fits really well. It's really tight on that, holds it in place pretty well. So I'm pretty happy about the way that part turned out. All right, what you see here is the RAV power brick installed in the top section of the rack the way that it's supposed to be. So again, the USB cables will come up from the Pis and plug into those ports that way, and then the power cable will route down the side. So that's how I'm going to route my powers, down the side like that and then out the bottom. I guess I could route it out the, I guess the little holes there on each one of the different back panels, but I would rather have it right out the bottom so I don't have a bunch of cables running all over the place from the back of this thing on my desk. I think it'll look better. I built those in for flexibility, but you don't have to have them there. I probably won't use those anyway. So again, it's really, it's a matter of preference. I like to have the cables routed out the bottom, but I wanted that flexibility. All right, so here are the parts trays installed in the bottom of the rack. Again, I keep some things in there like some breadboarding kit and some extra SD cards, that sort of stuff. So I've actually found those to be pretty handy. I can keep, an extra Pi fan. Those Pi fans are really pretty cheaply built, and sometimes I need to swap them out. They're pretty cheap for a reason, right? The bearings go out all the time, but they do serve a purpose, and very minimal cost. So I'll keep extras of those things in these parts trays, that sort of stuff. All right, before I end this video, there's one other thing I wanted to cover. So, this is the design as it stands today. So I've got it, probably 95% complete, but again, I've got to finish printing a couple of parts to check, fitment and that sort of stuff. But it's really coming along. So I expect in the next week or so, I'll have a majority, if not all of the parts out. If you look here, you can see the parts that I'm going to release today, right? So these are the 2 trays. And then in the bottom, you've got these 2 as well, right? So there's your, your parts tray and your vented faceplate and that sort of stuff. And then of course, obviously that now, I changed a couple of things on the front of these, right? But I'll release another video another time for that. I want to make sure that I get those printed properly and make sure everything fits like they're supposed to. So, anyway, well, before I let you go, there's one other thing I want to mention. So, I have started a Discord server. You'll find a link to that in the description of this video. I encourage you to join that. There's not a whole lot of people on there right now, but we're just getting started. So there's a channel in the Discord server for sharing pictures and kind of, messages and things about your build. I encourage you to do that. Have a sense of community and just kind of share your viewpoints and your builds and things like that. It may inspire others in the community. So go ahead and join us on that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I encourage you to do that as well. I mean, I know everyone on YouTube says that, but again, it's just going to make my videos better. So anyway, have a good one, guys.